And I'm going to take it from the macro perspective, the kind of global macro perspective, and bring it down to an individual perspective. I'd like for you to think about ethics as a barometer. And it is a system of morality and a value system for conducting acceptable behavior. And it's very clear on this side, and most of the time we know what is right and we know what is wrong. But you see, where we get into trouble is this area right in here, which is what I call the gray area. And one of the things that I'd like to ask you to take with you in your mind's eye is motivation. When you make decisions in your business, are you making them with full trust of all the stakeholders involved in that particular decision?
Why ethics is so important to all of us, and it's not going to go away, is because of the transparency that is occurring because of the internet. That is going to be the great leveling factor. You know, people becoming active and demanding that people are held accountable, that not only break the rules or operate in the gray, but operate in the fraudulent areas of life. If she signs it, she is committing what? Fraud. Thank you. Fraud. So not only is it against the ethical canons, but it's also against the law to sign off on something that knowingly you know is not the product. What P is he interested in? Profit. She needs to give Vernon every opportunity to do the right thing. And later in the program we're going to talk about how we motivate people to get on the same page with us to do the right thing. What's the message to the rest of the employees? It's okay. That's what we talk about, having a culture of living our ethical behaviors. And management is ultimately responsible for this behavior that's occurring in this organization and allowing to perpetuate. Remembers what Enron was famous for? Power. They were the energy company of the world. That's what they were touted as. But in reality, they had become nothing more than a casino on Wall Street, where they were betting against their own customers. The stockbroker called and said, Martha, if you sell your stock today, you can earn an extra $48,000. She ruined her entire reputation for $48,000. Chinese workers working for Apple, working 12, 18, 20 hours a day without days off, were starting to do what, Richard? Commit suicide, throwing themselves off the roofs of the manufacturing plants in China. And right when that story came out, immediately what did Apple do? And I think that's due to a track record of doing the right thing for your customers and clients consistently. They count on you for that, and they will be appreciative.
Ask those questions and remember that barometer that we talked about earlier. Ask questions about that gray area. Is this in secrecy? Is this full disclosure? Would you say this statement in front of the press? Would you be willing to sign this document if all parties were involved? Those kinds of questions that you get people to start thinking and the wheels to start turning about what it is that they're doing. And stick to the facts. Stay away from gossip and hearsay and assumptions.
What's important to me is that you take these case studies back and you think about how they could be applicable in your situation.